Is it audible, Sadik? Hariharan, 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 Hariharan. Tej Nikhil, Tej Nikhil. Can you respond? Is it audible? Can anyone respond? Is it audible to you? Hello, Raj Kishore.
Oh,
Is it audible?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Are you able to see the paint window? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what we have discussed in the previous session, we discussed about strings concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it the strings concept or else type conversion functions?
Oh, yeah, type conversion, sir.
Type conversion functions. In the last class, we discussed about type conversion functions, right? So in today's session, we will discuss about the concept of immutability. So we will discuss about objects, right? Object. Are you able to see the paint window? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about remaining people? It's already 11:33. What was the previous question? Can anyone respond?
Sir, graphics ma'am is taking class.
You asked her to terminate the session. It's already 11:34.
Okay, sir.
నిషిది లాగిన్ అయ్యి
Okay. So fundamental data types versus immutability. Immutability. So what do you mean by mutable? Mutable is nothing but what? Changeable. Mutable is nothing but what? It is called as changeable. Immutable is called as what? Non-changeable. So what kind of objects are immutable objects and what kind of objects are mutable objects? So if you look into that aspect, so once we create an object, we can't perform any kind of changes in that objects. Then in such kind of objects are called as immutable objects. Sorry, this is what? Immutable. once we create an object, if we cannot perform any changes in that object, then such kind of objects are called as what? They are called as immutable objects. Immutable objects. They are called as what? Immutable objects. Immutable objects. Once we create an object, if we cannot perform any kind of changes within that object, then such kind of objects are called as what? Immutable. Immutable. Immutable is nothing but what? Non-changeable. Non-changeable. Non-changeable objects or immutable objects. So once we create an object, we can't perform any kind of changes in the object. This kind of objects are called as what? Immutable objects. So what happened to remaining people? Are they going to attend my session or not? What was the previous class session?
50,
Previous
sir.
class strength. Hello?
50, sir.
50. So what is happening to you people, guys? It's only 48 members, 47 members. I'm expecting 100% strength. It's an important subject for you people. Please remember, Python programming. So it is having huge demand in the market. Okay. So object. So when I'm writing a statement like x equal to 10. So where is 10 stored, guys? 10 is available within the memory or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So it is available within the memory. So it is available in the form of an object. So how it is stored? It is stored in the form of what? An object. So this is called as object. So the memory which is allocated, for handling the data in the memory is called as what? It is called as the object. Okay. So memory allocation created for handling this data item is nothing but what? It is called as object. So it is called as object. So what kind of objects are these? Okay. So if you observe the nature of these particular objects, the data which is stored inside of object, if it cannot be changeable, then such kind of objects are called as what? They are called as what? Immutable objects. The values or the data items which were available within the object, if they are changeable in nature, they are called as what? Mutable. So are you understanding the differences between the mutability and immutability? So if you can change the content of the object, if you can change the content of the objects are called as mutable. If you cannot change the content of the object, then it is called as what? Immutable or non-changeable. So once we create an object, if we cannot perform any kind of changes in that, so we call the objects as what? Immutable objects. So the objects which are created for handling the fundamental data types, so those objects are called as what? Immutable objects, guys. Immutable objects. So x equal to 10. So what is 10 considered as? 10 is a non-decimal value or not? Hello, please respond.
Yes, sir.
So when it is a non-decimal value, so what sort of data type is assigned for x variable? Integer data type. So the object created for handling the 10 is what? It is an immutable type, immutable object. Reason? Because all fundamental data types are immutable in nature in Python programming language. Each and everything for handling each and every data item in Python programming language, it creates an object. So object oriented programming language. Python is object oriented programming language. So 10, it is available within the object. Where it is stored, it is available within the memory. Let us suppose it. So on x variable, if I am going to increment the value, so x equal to x plus 1. So when I'm incrementing the value of 10 to 10, when 10 is incremented by 1, so what's the value, guys? 11. So can I store the 11 value into the same object again?
No, sir.
No. Reason? Because fundamental data types are what? Immutable. So because of that reason, it creates a new object and it stores the new value into the new object. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
New object will be created for X, and X is pointing towards this new object. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear or not? Yeah, okay. Are you able to see the untitled window?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Now.
Are you able to see it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir. No.
X equal to, here I'm writing X equal to 10. So when I'm writing X equal to 10, so what sort of data type is assigned to X variable?
Integer.
Integer.
Data type. Okay. So to know about the data type of X variable, what I can do? Here I can use type function or not?
Type.
Of
Type functions.
type of what?
X.
Type of X can be used. So this particular statement will return what? The data type of the X, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I want to view the address of X is needed. So to get address of X, what we can do? ID function can be used or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So ID function can be used. ID of X. ID of X. So this is the first program, simple program, which we were dealing related to what? Mutability and immutability. Okay. So I want to show you the address of the object. Address of what? Address of the object. So save the program. So I'm storing into Python folder, guys. So Python folder is available within the desktop. It is available over the desktop. So in CSCB folder, I'm creating the file. Okay. So give some meaningful name. So I'm discussing about object concept, right? So object or immutable objects you can consider. Okay. Immutable object example 1 dot py. So what should be the extension? Py. So X equal to 10 is written. So and I'm displaying what? The data type of X variable along with what? The address of X. Okay. Then after what I'm doing? X equal to X plus 1. Okay. So what I have done? I have incremented the value of X. When I have incremented the value of X, can I store? Can I modify the value existing in the current object?
No, sir.
No, it is not supportable. So because of that reason, what happens? A new object is created. Within the new object, what will be the value of X?
11.
11.
Now, if you observe the address of this particular X, address will be changed or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So print of what? I want to display the address of X. Okay, address of X. Save the program, save the logic, then go for what? Execution. Run the program. Just give me a second. What happened here? X is not defined. Okay. Are you able to see the code window?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what's the mistake, guys?
Yes,
Can
sir.
anyone respond?
X is in
Small
caps.
X, sir.
Can anyone respond? What's the mistake?
X is in uppercase. We have written in lowercase.
Ah, that's the problem. Okay, so change it to lowercase such that the issue will be solved. Okay, error will be solved, error will be fixed. Save the logic, then go for execution. Now you can see the address. Are you able to see the address?
Yes, sir.
See here, 1407098459296. 9296. You observe the last 4 letters, guys. Last 4 numbers. 9296. Okay. So when I have incremented the X value, the address of X has been changed or not? See here.
Yes, sir.
So what's the reason? Because fundamental data types are what? Immutable objects. The data items which are handled with the help of fundamental data types. So for handling them, it is Python programming language is creating what? Python programming language is creating which kind of objects, guys? Immutable objects. If you are making any kind of modifications into the data items, means obviously it creates a new data item, and that a new address will be created, new address will be generated for the new objects. Obviously address will be changed, isn't it? Because object is nothing but what? Memory allocation. Memory allocation, for handling it, for each and every memory allocation is associated with the address, right? So the new memory allocation is associated with what? New address. The new value, that means the updated value which is available within the new memory allocation will have what? New address or not? It will have a new address. An address will be associated. So it's a new address. 328. 9328 is the new object address. Previous object address is what? 9296. Is it clear? Everyone,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
please
sir.
respond. Are you able to
Yes,
understand
sir.
it or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, okay. Now, one more example. One more example related to addresses concept, guys. Addresses. What we are speaking about? We were speaking about addresses. Addresses of the object. Isn't it? What is this? Representing this value. This number is representing what?
Address.
Address of
Addresses.
what? Address of what, guys? Address of the address of the object. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now go to the code window again. So open a new file. Open a new file. Open a new file. Are you able to see the untitled window?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one more example related to what? IDs concept. So it's regarding what? Addresses of the object, guys. Addresses of what? Objects. X equal to, here I'm giving 100. Okay. So when I'm giving X value as 100, what's the data type of X, guys?
Integer.
Huh?
Integer.
Integer. Now I am assigning Y equal to X. Now what's the data type of Y, guys?
Integer.
Integer. Obviously it will become integer because X is having 100. X is a non-decimal value, so it is an integer data type. So based upon that, so assignment, so as I have assigned an integer value to Y, because of that reason even the data type of Y will become what? Integer data type. So if you are having any kind of doubts regarding that, so what you can do, so practically you can show it with the help of which function, guys? Please
Type
respond.
of.
Type function can be used. Type of X. Okay. So and print what? The type of Y. Type of Y. Okay. Now X is assigned with what? 100. Y equal to what? X. Now what is the address of X and what is the address of Y? So to get address of this particular object, so what we are doing, guys? Print. So to display it onto the user screen or to the output screen, we were using print function, right? So which function has to be used for getting the address?
ID.
ID function has to be used. ID of X. Then I need address of Y also. So print. Can you help me?
ID of Y.
ID of Y.
ID of Y. Super. Now, can anyone guess me the output of these addresses? Are you going to get the different addresses for X and Y or going to get the same addresses? So before
Different.
save the logic. So save it into Python folder, guys. So in desktop folder, so I have created Python folder. In Python CSCB folder, I'm saving the programs. Okay. So it's related to addresses, right? So address example 2.py. Okay. Save the logic. Go for execution. Run the program. Are you able to see the output?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See here,
Yes,
what's the
sir.
data type of X?
Int.
What's the data type of X?
Integer.
Integer data type.
What's the data type of Y?
Integer.
Integer data type.
Then address of X and the address of Y are same or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Same.
Yes,
They
sir.
are same. But it won't be happen in Java programming language, guys. Are you understanding? So it happens in Python programming language. A new object will not be created. New object will not be created. Within that, it won't be created. It won't be storing the same value in the new object. Is it clear, guys? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So open a new file again. Are you able to see the code window? New untitled
Yes,
window.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Untitled window. Untitled window.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Now you see here. Here I'm writing x equal to 100. 1002. Okay, you can send 1002 is given here. And after I'm writing y equal to x. I have written y equal to x. Now print of id of x. Id of x. Then I'm printing id of y. Okay. So what is id function returning?
Address.
Address. So what's the result, guys?
Same address.
Are we going to get the same value or not? Address will be same or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Up to this extent.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm making modification within the y variable. Y equal to y plus 2. Y equal to what? Y equal to y plus 2. Y plus 2. Now if I'm displaying the address of y, what it will display? Is it going to display the same address as of x?
No, sir. Different address.
Different addresses will be generated, because when we are making modifications in does Python programming supports modifications in the existing existing object when it is related to fundamental data types? Can we make modifications within the object when it is when we are dealing with fundamental data type, guys?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
it won't allow you. Okay, because fundamental data types are what? They are immutable objects. Immutable objects. We can't make any kind of modifications within the existing objects. So when we are making any kind of modifications here, it creates a new object, and within the new object, the new value will be stored. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So if you are having any kind of doubts, you can see the output. Okay, save the code. So it's an example for addresses, right? Address example 3.py. Then run the program. See the output. See here. Are you able to see the differences?
Yes, sir.
So up to y equal to x, statement, when I'm displaying the ID of x and y, it is showing the same addresses. Address of x and address of y. Address of this object, address of x object, address of y. Both are pointing to the same object. So because of that reason, the values are shown as what? 25730910288. The moment when I have modified the content of y, so when it has executed y equal to y plus 2, what it has done? So internally it has created a new object, right? So that 1002 is modified to what? When I have written, when it has executed y equal to y plus 2, what's the value of y?
1004.
1004, right? So where is that 1004 value stored? So it is stored into the new object. So if you look into that new object address, so this is the new address. Okay, so this is the address of y here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Please respond. Are you able to understand it or not?
Yes, sir.
So I will show you diagrammatically. So how it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to the paint window, guys. Are you able to see the paint window? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, now. So, so I am writing the code. Sorry. Okay. Now I am writing the code, guys. X equal to what? 1002. Okay. Y equal to what? X. So when it executes x equal to 102, 1002, what happens internally? A new object will be created. So object is created, guys. Object is created. So what's the value, guys?
1002.
1002. So x is pointing to this object, guys. Okay. So address you can consider as what? 11100,938. You consider this one as the address. Okay. X equal to what? 100,000,22938. You consider it as the address of this particular object. Okay. So value is what? 1002. As I have assigned x as 1002, so that 1002 value is stored inside of object which is available within the main memory. X is pointing towards this particular object. So what I have done, y equal to x is written. Now what happens, guys? Does it going to create a new object, guys? No, it won't create new object. Instead, what happens here? So this y is pointing to the same object which was created earlier. Okay. So this is y is pointing to the object. So which is having what? 1002. 1002 is available. Are you able to understand or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I am writing the addresses. Okay. So print of id of x. Print of id of y. Okay. So what's the result, guys? What's the result? id of x and id of y. Both are same or not?
Yes, sir.
Both are same, right? So can you tell me the output? 10000. Please respond. Then 2293. So 10000222938. So this is the output, right? Then after, what I have done is, so I have written which code, guys? Y equal to y plus 2, isn't it? So this is the statement or not? Please respond, guys.
Yes, sir.
See the logic. So what's the first statement? First statement is x equal to 1. This is the second statement. This is the third statement. This is the fourth statement. This is the fifth statement. And what is the sixth statement? I'm displaying what? Address of y. Address of y. ID of y. So this is what I am. This is the code or not? Please respond. Is it the code or not? Hello. Hello. Are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So after executing this
Yes,
logic,
sir.
so control goes to the fifth statement or not? It executes the fifth statement. So what's the fifth statement, guys? Y equal to y plus 2. What is y value?
1002.
1002. So can we make modifications within the current object, guys?
No, sir.
No, we can't make any
sir.
kind of modifications in the existing object. Reason? Because these are what? X and Y are immutable objects or mutable objects?
Immutable.
Immutable objects. Because
Immutable.
all fundamental data types are coming into the category of immutable or immutable?
Immutable objects.
Immutable objects. So the moment when it executes this statement, so it creates a new object. New object will be created. So inside of the new object, what will be the result? What's the value?
1004.
1000.
1004.
1004 will be available. Now this y is pointing to what? This new object. Now if you look into the address of this particular new object which was created, so 1000000339332, you assume this one has the address. So is it mandatory to have only this particular address for the y object created in the memory? Please respond.
No, sir.
No. Don't
No,
expect
sir.
this kind of output from your screens, guys. So when you are executing this program, don't expect this kind of output. So when you are generating address of the x and y variable, x and y addresses, right? So when you are trying to display the IDs of x and y, don't expect this kind of output. So can we expect the same output on your output screens?
No, sir.
Please respond.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No. So what's the result of the last statement? What's the result? What's the result, guys? When I'm executing print ID of y, what's the result? Please tell me the output.
1000000
1000000 0000
00
10000 then
Double two.
22
33 sir.
3393.
932.
So this is the result. So what happens with the previous pointer? What about this one? So this link will be destroyed. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So this
sir.
link will be destroyed. Are you able to understand the program or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm saving the program, guys. Okay. So it's regarding what? Mutability, right? So immutable. Object example. Immutable object example. Okay. So then I'm going for a new window again in Paint window. So are you able to see the empty window, empty untitled window in Paint?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You
Yes, sir.
consider one more program, guys. One more program. So here I'm taking. So here I'm writing x equal to 10. Okay. Y equal to 10. Z equal to 10. Are you seeing the Paint window, guys?
Yes, sir.
So what is visible on your screens?
Sir.
X is equal to 10, Y is equal to 10, Z is equal to 10.
X equal to 10, Y equal to 10, and Z equal to 10. Now, what happens here? First of all, for the first statement will be created. So object is created. So what does it consist of?
10.
It consists of 10. It consists of 10. Now I'm taking. Okay, so x equal to 10. Now x will be pointing towards what?
Object.
This one.
Object, sir.
Towards the created object, right? So here x is pointing to the created object. So what it is having, guys? 10. So if you look into the address of this particular variable object, so I'm taking 223456536. You consider the value as what? So 2234536. What it is considered as?
Address.
1022 34536. So what it is what? So what is this value?
Address.
This is what?
Address of X.
Address of what? Object.
X.
Address of the object. Okay. Now what about y equal to 10? So after executing this statement, so this is the result, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now control moves to the next statement and executes what? Y equal to 10. So now you tell me, So is it going to create a new object called a new object which is accommodating 10 guys? No, it won't create a new object. Already object is having 10, right? So y is also pointing to the same object. Okay. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then z. Even z is also pointing towards the same object. Now, if you try to display the addresses of x and y and z, x, y, z addresses. So display the address of x, display the address of y, display the address of z. Now, can anyone tell me the address? What's the result of the statement? ID of x.
1022.
What's the address, guys?
1022.
1022
1022
345.
34536.
36. Now, what's the result of the next statement? 1022 34536. What's the result of the next statement?
536.
700.
What's the ID of z?
102234.
1022.
102234
So this is the result, guys. Is it clear? So this happens in Python programming language, but it won't be seen in other kind of programming language, guys. So don't expect. Okay, so don't expect the following thing. Don't expect the following. Okay. For x, any one object. For y, one object. For z, one object. Don't expect this kind of scenario. Okay, so this is not there in Python. Is it clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
When the value is same, so it is not creating a new object, guys. So instead of creating a new object, so what it is doing, it is using the same object. So concept of object reusability. What's the concept, guys? Object reusability. Is it clear? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please respond, guys. Everyone. It's equal to 10. So what's the concept, guys? So this particular example is showing about what? What it is speaking about?
Object reusability.
Object reusability.
Reusability.
Concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Save the object reusability. Is it clear? So with
Yes, sir.
object reusability, what is improved, guys? It is saving memory or not?
Yes, sir.
Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So if I am creating one more object for handling y, what happens? So it will consume some space for y variable or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
If I am handling these particular variables individually, that means 10 for x, 10 for y, 10